Hello YouTube, this is Sam from Tiger Schooling. In this session of the video, we're going to talk about the basics of cardiovascular system. We have just want to get an overview of the cardiovascular system. What is cardiovascular system? It's also called as the circulatory system of the body. So here's just a diagram which is a bit awkward, a weird diagram, but you have to understand it for the clear understanding. So consider this box as your heart. So this is the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. Let me mention it. Right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. All right. So these are your lungs. This is the lungs. So what happens? You receive the deoxygenated blood is received from the systemic circulation. Systemic circulation means the body. So this is the systematic circulation. So what happens? You receive the blood from the systemic circulation, and you receive it from the right atrium, and from the right atrium the blood moves towards the right ventricle, and from the right ventricle the blood goes up into the and moves up into the pulmonary into the pulmonary circulation. So pulmonary circulation starts over here and moves through the lungs, and from the lungs it comes back again into the left ventricle and into the left atrium, and from left atrium to the left ventricle, and from there, from left ventricle, it is actually pushed upward through the aorta into the systematic circulation, again into the systematic circulation. So we have got two types of circulation here. That is the systematic circulation and the pulmonary circulation over here. Pulmonary circulation. So we are going to start talk about the cardiovascular system. So what is cardiovascular system? So cardiovascular system actually consists of the heart and blood vessels. All right, heart, blood vessels, and blood. So you can say the cardiovascular system has actually three components. That is the heart. So what we say, the CVS has three components. Number one is what we have got. We have got heart. Number two, we have got blood vessels. Number three, we have got blood itself. So these are the three basic components of the cardiovascular system, or you can say circulatory system. So what happens in men? The heart starts its function at about 3 weeks of gestation. It's actually even before the mother can confirm that she is even pregnant. Look at this, And again, one thing more, that it is actually believed to be the first organ to become functional. All right, so we have just talked about the basics of the cardiovascular system. Now a little bit talk about the heart. So heart is actually acts as a pump that imparts pressure to the blood flows. Heart pushes the blood into the circulatory system and the pulmonary circulation. So it's actually a kind of pump, the heart. And the blood vessels, these actually form the passageways via which blood is directed and distributed from the heart to all the body parts. So from this in the systemic circulation, it moves towards all the body parts. So blood is very simple. So it is actually serves as a transport medium for nutrients, respiratory gases, that is oxygen, carbon dioxide, and some hormones. All right, now let's talk about the circulations. So we have actually two types of circulation. We have already talked about them. That is the pulmonary circulation and the systematic circulation. So what happens in the circulation? So blood actually travels to and from the heart through separate vascular loops. So this closed loop, from here, this whole loop is forming. You can call this pulmonary circulation, moving from this side, and the other loop from here till there, till the right atrium, you can call it the systematic circulation. So how could we define the pulmonary circulation and the systematic circulation? So the pulmonary circulation is actually a closed loop between the heart and the lungs. Pulmonary circulation is a closed loop between the heart and the lungs. Blood from the right heart goes to the lungs, oxygenated there, and returns back to the left heart. So this is called the pulmonary circulation. So remember one thing more about the pulmonary circulation. It is actually low pressure and low resistance system. So pulmonary circulation is low pressure and low resistance system. All right, And now let's talk about the systematic circulation, which is actually the loop between the heart and other organ system of the body. So blood goes out of the left heart, so this is the left heart, passes through the various organ system of the body like kidneys and all those lungs, and gives up its oxygen there, and then returns back to the right heart via vena cava. So we have got two vena cava. This is the inferior vena cava, this is the superior vena cava. Superior vena cava, which is got superior vena cava, brings the blood from the deoxygenated blood from the upper body, from the head and neck, and it's inferior vena cava from the lower body. All right. And so one thing more about the systematic circulation is, compared to the pulmonary circulation, the systematic circulation has actually high pressure and high resistance. Remember this one. Systemic circulation has high pressure and high resistance. And one thing more to add about regarding the systematic circulation is that left side of the heart performs more work, and its wall is thicker than of the right side. It's because that the left heart have to pump the blood into the whole body, but in the right side of the heart, it's not that much thick, because it does not pump the blood through the whole body. It just pushes the blood towards the lungs. So lungs are near, so it's easy to come back. So that's why it's low pressure and low resistance, but the systemic circulation is high pressure and high resistance. So that's all regarding the basic concept, or you can say introduction of the cardiovascular system. We will be going to talk about every and each topic in detail in our later videos. Thank you. Keep visiting Tiger Schooling.